Hello everybody, this is Alpha Proto. Welcome to Alpha Proto. And I guess we should get started. Alright, so far we've been working on this introduction, and what I've been working on over the past week or so is this. This is my medium punch attack. It's pretty cool. And this is hard punch. So we're gonna animate this today and see how far we can get with that. I was hoping that I could get this webcam to work for you could see my hands while I was working on this. But that's not the case. I couldn't get it to work. Honestly, I set up everything last night just the way I wanted it. And I was like, this is perfect. Oh, hi. Yeah, hello, it's the Trap Productions. I'm working on finishing these animations up. I've been working on these two this week, but this introduction's been taking me a while. So I'm hoping I can finish that today. Oh man. Okay, the chat's not showing. Let's pop that. What chat? What chat? What chat? Aha! I picked the wrong one. That's why it wasn't showing. Thanks for the assistance. I totally did not know that. I'll move this over here, move this here. Put this in the center of the screen. Yep. Yeah, I've been having problems with getting these streams set up. Everything starts fine, but then everything falls apart later on. Like right when I need to start streaming, it just everything's not working. My mic doesn't work, my webcam doesn't work, and I spend about 30 minutes trying to get that set up. The stream was supposed to start at 5:30. I postponed it about 10 minutes and I still couldn't get the camera to work. I just barely got the microphone working. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. So I had an epiphany earlier this week. My brother and I were talking about like what kind of comic or story could we do together. And because my story that I've been working on so far with the comic, I haven't been able to progress with it. I've been stuck, and I've been wondering why haven't I got any farther with my story. And then it hit me. I'm like, oh, I don't know what my second protagonist is gonna look like. So I guess I was subconsciously like stalling on myself. So plus I kind of want to rewrite that story a little bit. So I had to think of a new scenario, and so my brother and I decided to, I was like, what's the best way to come up with new ideas? Is it to think of a cool concept and work your way around that? Or is it to, yeah, story collab. Is it better to come up with a cool concept and then write your story around that? Or to think of your story and then add concepts to it? And I thought of a cool looking character design. So that's the answer to that. For me, anyway. And then after that, we were like, okay, we have a cool character. What kind of world will he live in? The character I thought of was a knight. I've never did a medieval story before, but I thought it'd be interesting. Because the armor, I don't know. I wanted to draw armor and a really cool character. But then we started talking over the story, and we're like, do we want it to be historical fiction or science fiction fantasy? I mean, like, or just fantasy. And we decided to just make it sword and sorcery fantasy, because then we wouldn't have to do any research. We could just make up the world as we went along. And we kept going over the name of the story, and he kept... Well, okay. When it comes to the name of the story, we couldn't really decide, because I kind of wanted to name... I wanted to name the story after the main character, but we didn't want the Naruto effect, which that's what I call it anyway, where you name the story after the main protagonist, but you have so many good supporting characters that the point of calling the story... I mean, the point of naming the story after the protagonist is kind of mute, because why name it after that character when all the other characters are just as good and important? Because I was watching Naruto and I'm like, wow, this story's great. They could have named this Hidden Leaf Village, or Village Hidden in the Leaves, and it would have been just as relevant as Naruto. But the fact that you name it Naruto is a built-in spoiler. You know the story's centered around him, even though it follows more than just him. If you want it, you could have named it Sasuke, even though he's missing a little bit. But still, there's episodes where Naruto's not there, so if you're watching the show and you're like, hey, where's Naruto? And it's like Shikamaru episode, then you're watching Shikamaru. It's a Trap Production says, yeah, fantasy is a good idea. Historical fiction only works if you've really researched time period and know the ins and outs of important events and figures. Yeah, that's true. Because it could really spoil the experience, especially for people who know that time period really well. Because they can't really get into it. The glaring oversights of accuracy will just haunt them the entire story, so all they'll be able to do is criticize it instead of enjoying it. I find myself doing that sometimes. if something is just so like not accurate, and it just stands out and bothers. It just bothers me. I'm sure a lot of people who watch The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, they were turned off by the portrayal of the samurais or something. Or when they have historical figures that are considered like, it's like, whoa, they portrayed this guy as a really nice guy, but in real history he did all these horrible things. Didn't they do any research? One thing I learned in film school was you should always pick sides. In documentaries or fiction or whatever, if you have a story to tell, you have to pick sides. Because if they wanted... This is what my teacher told me. If they wanted facts, they would go read a book or their own research. If they want to be entertained, they come to you. So when it comes to documentaries, like... Don't take them too serious, because even though they're trying to inform you, they're still in the business of entertaining and getting your money. Whoa, 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 whoa. Right, yep, I gotta fix that. There's a big glitch in the Matrix. So there's this, and then there's... No, there we go. And it still floats back there. So the problem is really this. This shouldn't be there. So now that I'm going to do a fantasy story, I thought about how this is going to work. At first it was just going to be a story about a knight, and he was going to be traveling the countryside or through the land and running into evil and vanquishing it, you know? And I was like, yeah, this feels kind of like every other dark, gloomy story out there. How am I going to tell multiple stories if I'm just telling a story about some dude who's all sad and mopey walking around killing things? And that was just too dark for me. I was like, nah. Everything I do is based in the vein of Jackie Chan stuff. Action comedy. I love action comedy. Yeah. It's Trap Production says it's a bit Samurai Jack-ish. Yeah. But that's the problem, though. Samurai Jack did have the advantage of he'd meet a new character every journey. But otherwise... The intro to most Samurai Jacks is him walking by himself alone until he encounters someone. So you don't really get that much insight into him as a character. But he is supposed to be mysterious. His name isn't even really Jack. He's just called Jack. So I decided it should be I think it's called a party or a group or a troupe of characters. But not too many, because if there's too many personalities to write for, I could get lost. So we decided to make it like Pokemon, because Pokemon, they're on an adventure. They're traveling town to town, land to land, gym to gym, and there's two other characters, not including Pikachu. Pikachu has a personality of his own, but you've got two humans, and they all have different personalities, and they work off of each other. So I decided to have a stoic monk and throw a fast-talking I don't know, thief? I think she's a thief, or I think she's a bard, you know, someone who plays music, but she's a thief. The music is a cover for the fact that she's a thief. So they're gonna encounter her later. The first issue. I think of my stories as movies or episodes, so separating them from that's kind of difficult sometimes. But yeah, it's gonna start off with a young man who wants to be a squire for a night. Town gets invaded. Then they have to go and stop the evil, so they go on a journey to the castle that the evil guy's in, so they could take care of them. And like the kid's gonna get cursed. Like he wants to be a knight, but he can't be because, you know, I don't know. I've got to make an excuse up. But during the fight, when they get their village raided, he's going to get cursed, and so the only way to lift a curse is to defeat the man who put the curse on him. So he's going to go and search out the man who cursed him, and his mentor. I decided to go with a friar. Like, he's going to be at a church. Like, he's an orphan, and the friar's taking care of him. And so he's going to go on the adventure with him, so he could still train. He could be as Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know? Yeah. Yeah, Pokemon's a lot of people say Lord of the Rings. Yeah, fantasy, Lord of the Rings. But yeah, Pokemon. I'm following Pokemon. You encounter people on your travels, and then Wizard of Oz style, you can kind of pick them up and have them stay in the party if you like them. And each city will have a different scenario, and I'll probably draw the map. Right now, I only have the trips. Okay, it's like first issue, city invaded. Second, they go through a forest, and they encounter the girl, and they get attacked there. But they escape, and then after that they go to a city to find a place to stay and recuperate and rest. Then they take a boat, so they have to get a boat, so they go to a shipping town. And once they... I don't know if stuff will happen on the boat. I'll just probably skip that. Depends on if I can think of something. Like a crazy sea captain or something. And then I'll have them go to the mountains. And once they get to the top of the mountain, that's where the big bad guy will be. They might encounter some villages and cities that are having festivals or something. And yeah, a lot of these cities are just gonna get raided or invaded or taken over, and they're gonna take care of it. They're gonna save them from the infestation of evil. And if people like the story, I'll probably do a second, maybe. Basically, if people don't like the story, I'll just wrap it up. And I'll just stop the story. I'll continue it until... Okay, what am I trying to say? Okay, people like the story, I'll keep going with it. I'll actually, you know, I won't even kill the villain. He'll just keep getting away. But if people are like, I don't really care for it, I'll adjust the story the best I can until people could like it. But if they're just not feeling it, I'll just you know, and they live happily ever after, you know. So that's a good point. That's a good point. Strap Production says, I don't know, man. I understand wanting to get a good audience response, but if it's a story you want to tell, I think you'll get an audience for it regardless. It might not be a big audience, but if it's a story you want to explore, go for it. That's a good point. I know that there's this saying in business called fail fast. I heard this like earlier this week and I've been talking about it for a while. And that's like, put your idea out. The longer you take to develop your idea, it's good to have a developed idea, but if you take forever to put it out there and it fails, you just wasted a whole lot of time that could have been put towards a effort that could have been successful. At least that's how I understand it. So get the idea out there and see if it works, and then if it works, you feed the idea, I guess. But if it fails, you put it down and go to another one. I lean towards shonen style stories, you know, young boy stories, like not even really young, like teenagers, not even really teenagers, like I guess stories for young audiences. They could have some mature elements and stuff in there, but nothing too hardcore, nothing violent or scandalous or anything like that. Because if I did do something that's like all dark and brooding, it'd just be me faking it. It's not really in my personality to make stories like that. I wouldn't feel it. It's just not my thing. Truck Production says, nothing wrong with making a story that appeals to a wide audience. You can make a story that's fun and light, but have some dark elements every now and then. Yeah! Like, Dragon Ball Z. Actually, Dragon Ball was pretty light. Light with adventure. That was really adventure comedy, and then it became a adventure sci-fi action story with Z. Shippuden. Well, I was about to say Naruto Shippuden was dark, but Naruto was pretty dark. Like, their first mission, they almost die. Like, Naruto's really, really suspenseful. Everybody looks like they're about to die all the time. And it's mainly because they are kids. They're not that experienced, so there's always that air of, will they get through this? But I'll probably just save that for the end, when they reach really powerful, I want to say stage bosses, mini bosses, but yeah, it's like Monster of the Week sort of thing. It's formulaic, but formulaic works. People are comfortable with formulas. I don't want to scrap my story that I was working on, but I might have to for a while. It was a story about a retired fighter who wanted to make her way into the big time with her apprentice, like by using her apprentice in street fights to get attention, but I like the girl more than the, like, instead of, like, okay, I told a friend about it, he's like, wow, I like this, the way this character looks, and she's interesting, maybe this whole story should be about her fighting. And after that, it just killed it for me. I was like, oh man, he's right. I was thinking about backtracking and going her story and then doing a prequel or something like that, but after that I just wanted to write a story about her. But that wasn't the plan. That wasn't the plan. Trap Production says, I know what you mean. Some stories take on a life of their own. Yeah, I've noticed that most do. Like, if you make really well thought out characters, you run into situations where you're like, nah, a character wouldn't do that. Because you know the character, and the best stories are made with really fleshed out characters, so you get your character. You understand your character so well that oh, sorry, I just ran into an animation flub and it's Here, 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 here. There. Here, 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 here. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. I must have dragged one of the frames. I'd better save before I make a goof. Okay, but yeah, if you make your characters first and you have their personality set and you know what your characters would do, then you could just drop them into situations and the story kind of writes itself. So if you force your characters, like if you have a bunch of characters in a situation and they're dangling off a ledge or something and they're both idiots, you can't all of a sudden have them think of an amazing way to get out of the situation that wouldn't fit the character. Now you could have someone come by and help them, or have them do something that's like happenstance, and it's like, wow, I can't believe that you did that, and they're like, yeah, I can't believe it either. You know, some big MacGuffin or shows up and helps them or happens. What's that? Deus Ex Machina? I think that's what it's called. Where whatever you need to happen happens in the story. Oh, thanks for the shout out. But yeah, I found myself in that situation where I put these characters on a train together. And I didn't like where it was going, like... And I was like, I probably shouldn't have did that. Because, you know... I kind of don't want to talk about what I did with these characters, but... It was a bad situation. It was a bad idea. So I just stopped the story. It went so long... The story went for so long, and then I wrote myself into a corner because I wrote the characters into a situation they shouldn't have been in. Just don't put two teenagers on a train together. Hormones and all that stuff. That's a bad idea. I should have probably rewrote the whole thing. But I was drawing as it was a comic book, and I was drawing as I wrote it. I was writing as I drew. And that's how I ended up with that. It's a very bad idea. If your artists don't write and draw, have everything planned out. After that, I was like, yep, have your beginning, middle, and end all ready beforehand. This is Trot Productions. You've been doing pretty good with your live streams. They're really, like, your video productions, like, you're keeping a good schedule. And you're maintaining your audience. It's really good. Everyone watching this video or live stream should subscribe to him. Fun for the whole family. You won't have to worry about him jumping into some tirade or of swearing and rage. He controls himself very well. Very level-headed guy. thanks me, and I say, you're welcome. You're welcome. Honestly, when I'm... This is kind of like being on stage, and when you're on stage, you kind of know everybody's watching you, so you kind of want to put a show on for everyone. So you amp things up, you know? But sometimes, for some people, that just means you just get this boost of energy and you just want to yell and rage all the time. But, you know, there's other ways to maintain an audience's interest. Just, you know, having a solid conversation and good humor. Yep. He says, this Truck Production says, can't wait to have you back on my streams. Yeah, I have fun on your streams. Streams always go better with more than one person. Because, like right now, I'm chatting with you. And this interaction really, it keeps me focused on the task. Well, it's kind of flipping my focus. It's like between me talking, thinking about what I'm going to say, and working at the same time. But it keeps me from getting bored. And it keeps streams more interesting. It's a lot more interesting than me just talking to myself. Which I could do, but then I'd just be answering myself, and it's just me thinking out loud. That's what it would be. Oh, it's Truck Productions that's happy to help out whenever I can. Whenever I can. Yeah, you've helped out a lot. The retweets really help. Like the collaborations with Kitty, Zombie Kitty, and all these people. I've met all these people and I can't remember their names right now. Donnie. But yeah, it's good to have a little community. Support each other. This YouTube stuff is difficult. Not in a physical labor sort of way, but maintaining a schedule, and just sometimes it's just difficult to turn on the camera and you just don't feel like it. You don't have the energy to be a host to a bunch of people. It's kind of like if you're at home and then someone rings your doorbell and it's a good friend and you're like, I just wanted to chill out today. But then you have to be all like, hey, how you doing? You need a drink? Have a seat, you know? Sometimes you have the energy to be a good host, but sometimes you don't. Right now, I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling alright. Now, if I had a whole lot of energy, I'd be like, why am I here? I should go out shopping or something. Or watch a movie. You know. But a lot of people are depending on me to get this character done. After I started posting videos of this character, I got a lot more subscribers. I'm almost to 200 subscribers. I didn't think I'd get that many this year. Honestly, after doing so many videos, like, I thought that, you know, I didn't think I would get any new subscribers. Because each of my videos was getting about 7 or 10 views. And this is after editing for hours. When you sit down and edit a video for like 3 hours and only like have 30 views or 20 views, like 20 views after like 6 months, that just discourages you. Then you say, why am I doing this? No one's watching my stuff. But these live streams, like like the last 2 live streams I did, I got 45 views on the last one within a week, and that's good to me. I'm like, wow. People are actually watching this. Or at least clicking on it. And then the one from a couple of weeks ago, it got like, I think it had 70, which is a lot. For me, it's a lot. And another thing I did was I went through the live streams, the last 2, and I changed the title. I actually gave it a topic or what happened or what I talked about. And I tried to not clickbait it, but dramatize it a little bit to make it sound interesting. Watching me shade a Neko Majin or animate, that's kind of cool, I guess. But to have in the title all the drama and not even really drama, but like put a dramatic title that's clickbaity, like, wow, I wonder why it says that. I think I said I'm sorry. That's that video. Because I kept apologizing, so I named it I'm sorry. I apologize, or something like that. So it's like, whoa, I wonder what happened. What happened? And then the other one, sitcoms can be dark. Those are fun. This Trap Production says, you're doing good. It's hard trying to get views to find out what works with other people. Yeah. I don't even know if there's right now, I'm talking and just have my hands like doing the work. I don't even know if this animation's looking good. I'm just going from one frame to the next. I'll clean it up later. Or next, or we'll see. Okay, what do I got? Okay, when he stands up straight, I should probably his crotch should probably have light on it. Because the main reason it's in shadow is because he's leaning over. So... okay, that's probably too much. Not liking this. This doesn't look that great. I think I'll just keep it dark. I hope I didn't go too far back. Yeah, I'll keep it dark. It just looks better like that, I guess. To me. In my opinion. But yeah, I started this channel because I decided to document my cosplay videos. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll upload some videos that I've recorded of me. Wait, no I didn't. That's not what happened. What I did was I made a costume, my Lizard Man costume, and I wore it to M.U.G.E.N, and I was like, a lot of people were like, whoa, that's cool, how do you do that, how do you do that? And I won some awards, and I was like, okay, maybe I could piggyback this M.U.G.E.N cosplay stuff into a YouTube sort of thing. So I started editing video. I filmed everything I did to make my M.U.G.E.N costume, and then should that be there? Yeah, all right. But yeah, I filmed myself working on my M.U.G.E.N costume, and it was like hours and hours worth of video. And it took forever to, like, all I wanted to do was speed up the video and play music to show how I worked on it. And speeding up the video takes a very long time to upload the video, and then you like speed through it, and then I've made all these captions and stuff for the videos. Not really like just little tags like MTV has for the music. Because I was playing Wizzy Whippet Wonderful's music, so I could monetize the videos and advertise him and his talent. So I'd have to make these labels, and every time I did an introduction or something, I'd put a label like with my name on it and everything. Or my brother, he's in some videos and his name's there. Like, you think photoshopping up a label would be easy, but it takes time. The intro cards, like animating those, that took time too. That wasn't fun. So it's like you spend like 6 hours working on a video, including the rendering and not including the upload time, and then no one watches. Well, they actually did. If you look at the view count, there's like a few hundred after so many years, which is good. That makes people kind of are interested. But I always, for those cosplay videos, I always try to keep things interesting. Like, especially on the intro, because I do it, you know, a soft intro, and then I do the real intro. I do a soft intro, then I do the intro card, then I do the real intro. Just doing the soft intro that takes time for me to think of, even if it's just me saying hi. I try to introduce myself in a interesting way. So that's mainly why I haven't made any more cosplay videos. Because no one watches them. But I have hours and hours of video of like 3 different costumes now. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, why are you making these? No one's gonna watch it. No one's gonna watch it. Like the comment box videos, no one really watches those either. But they don't take that much time for me to make. They take me about... They still take a while. Like, I try to do everything in one take, but to record them probably takes about, at most, lighting setup and camera setup. That takes 30 minutes to record, and then like it's like an hour for every. I don't know. It's like 10 minutes for every minute, so it takes me 30 minutes to edit. Nah, probably not. I think I'll say 3 hours. It probably does take me 3 hours to edit. That's like making the cards again, title cards. Like the thumbnail is usually the title card, but getting all those pictures of the comic books and putting them together, that takes time. Kind of squishy. This animation is kind of squishy. Well, it's not the animation, it's the shading. The shading's trying to keep it pretty solid. It's moving around a lot. I don't want it to look pillow shady. Trying to keep it pretty consistent and solid. Yeah, these live streams are great. It's a Truck Production says, I do hope you can show these with like the cosplay or costume maker community. That might help drum up some views. Well, I don't know. That cosplayer community's interesting. Like, people like your, like, a lot of people can like your when I went to conventions with costumes, the cosplay community or people dressed up, the most I get was, wow, that's cool. I didn't really make any friends because what I made was so unique. It was like only, you know, like monster foam fabrication and all that stuff, and everybody else was like sewing stuff, like girls would sew dresses and stuff like that, and I don't know what, I didn't see any dudes. I don't know what they were doing. But yeah, that was mainly when Sci-Fi Channel was showing Face Off. I was a big fan of Face Off, and I was like, man, I wish I could be on that show. And then they had that Cosplay Heroes or something like that show. I was like, yeah. Then they had the Jim Henson puppet thing show, puppet show. But I was watching a lot of reality competitions that involved makeup and sculpting and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that. And I did. And it was pretty fun. I like walking around in the costumes, even when it's not fun. I don't know, I should probably... that Lizard Man suit, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I wish I could have documented that, because when I think back to that suit, it really is... I think it was my favorite one. I just wish I'd taken better care of it. So I'd still have it. I still have the head. Or mask, or puppet, or whatever it was. But that's not even in perfect condition. I have the weapons. The shield's really good condition. Well, no, it isn't. One of the horns broke off the shield. But I'm proud of that shield. That shield turned out really good. But yeah, the cosplay community is weird. If you're not a girl, they kind of don't care. Actually, no, it's not even really about being a girl, though. I think it's more of, if you're not, like, exploiting your body in some way, no one cares. Like, if you're a dude with, like, six-pack abs, yeah, you wear a costume, yeah, girls will pay attention to you. If you're a dude in a giant monster costume, you're no one cares. Oh well. I did encounter okay, when I wore the Lizard Man costume, I did encounter someone named Canine Hybrid. She made some really cool costumes. They were Pokemon, and they were like, you know, plush, you know, furry. I guess it's furry. What's that? But yeah, they were really cool costumes, and they were like fabricated, but foam. Golly, what's with this leg? Sorry, I thought these were mirrored identically, but I keep running into differences. Right. There, I think that. Why? Okay, I'll just do this. But yeah, she made cool costumes. She took pictures of. She's one of the only people who took pictures of my costume, and I appreciated it. Really did. Actually, a lot of people took pictures of my costume. It was just hard to find them. I had to search the internet to find pictures of myself. Like a weirdo. But after that, I was like, I just had my brother take pictures of me before I could have photos of me in the suit, because getting in those suits is tedious. It's not easy being cheesy. I think that helps. Yeah, just mirroring parts of this sprite. It's making everything more consistent. But yeah, cosplay's expensive, especially with monster fabrication. And at the moment, funds are tight and time is too. Alright. BRB. But yeah, funds are tight, so it's like Not that it's super expensive, it's just very time consuming. But huh? What? See, I was looking at that, and that was over there. Why's that not like that? Okay. Okay. Yeah, those are not identical. This is not identical. Okay, let me see over here. Here. Yeah, that belt's different on both sides. Yeah, that's mirrored. It's pretty good. Pretty close. I like this side more. So I'm gonna take this. Flip. Horizontal. Put that over here. Here. Come on. There we go. I don't know. I think it's this onion skinning. It's not helping me see where the character is. Okay, let's see. Take it away. All right. Put it back. Okay. Take it away. Put it back. Take it away. Put it back. Nope. Take it away. Take it away. All right. It's strange. It's close. Close enough. This and this. What's the leg in more? Delete. Alright. Take this. Duplicate. Put that over here. I'm just checking this area. So it shrinks and it gets big again? Yeah, I don't like that. Neko Majin Z. Here, okay. So here. Well, I guess it's supposed to, since more light would be hitting his legs the wider his stance got, and then less. That's how I'm reasoning it. So yeah, I cosplayed Lizard Man, and then I cosplayed Ganon. Then I cosplayed Ganondorf, and I was going to make a reptile costume. Got pretty far on it, I guess, but wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't feeling it. And then I thought, hey, maybe Metalhead from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, arcade game. Maybe a few modifications to make them look cooler. And I bought some lights for it. Christmas tree lights. I thought that would be pretty cool to get some electronics in there. Apparently, when people see flashing lights, they think that you know how to use a program board or stuff like that. But nah, I just buy lights and throw them in there. So I got lights. Then I realized, nah, I don't feel like making a. If I make a costume, it'll just take over what I'm doing. Those costumes take a lot of work. And I can't afford to have my focus taken away from my comics, which can actually make me money, and Neko Majin, which is actually getting me some exposure. So potential money with comics, and there's exposure with this. Plus I love animating. Like August, I was telling myself, you know what? I'll just work on my comic all August. I won't even bother with Neko Majin, but I really want this character to get done. Because if I don't make him, no one will. No one cares about Neko Majin. It's like Kanye West during Hurricane Katrina fund. George Bush don't care about Neko Majin. It's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Recolor this belt. This is going well. I'm going to have to do some air attacks for Neko Majin. I started with low attacks, which is weird. That's just what I had ideas for. And now that I have all three standing punch animations. I've got that jab, and then I've got this medium. I've got this heavy. But then I don't have any kick animations. Like, his crouching attacks are all tail based. Like, just so he can have some range, because his arms are stubby. I kind of faked it. Like, see these slashes? His hands aren't going that far. That's just to get some distance. That slash, his arm stops right there, and the slash extends past it. You know, it looks cool. Nobody's gonna care. Well, I hope no one cares. No biggie, no biggie. As long as it makes the character work better, right? It serves the character. Yeah, I think I'll cut and paste this belt. It looks like it's the same each frame, so I don't want to sprite it multiple times. Let me get this color and this color, and I'll swap them out. Oh yeah, speaking of Kanye West, I don't listen to the guy's music. I watched a documentary on him a few years ago, and that was really interesting. I was like, because he was a rap producer, which is, I didn't know what a rap producer was. I was like, what? Movies have producers. Producers usually don't do anything, but apparently in rap music, producers are the people who produce the beats. They basically make the music that rappers rap to. So rappers are so uncreative, they have other people do all the work for them and they take all the credit, I guess. I don't know. Because when it comes to being a musician, I was like, you know, you make your own music. Make your own music. Like, I guess, you know, I'm used to bands. Like, people make the music together, and at least the singer, he sings. And usually, I would assume that he or she wrote those songs. But no, I guess not nowadays. You hire somebody to write your songs for you. Songwriters write songs, then performers perform the songs. It's a big factory. Music factory. But yeah, he's the producer. And it's like, what's a producer? Or it's more like, who cares? But yeah, going back to me talking about Kanye West, it's like, so if he's making all these, like, I doubt that most rap people, I don't know why people, like, when I listen to music in general, the lyrics are the last thing I think of. But I guess that's not the way rap works. Because the music is what grabs my attention with most things. With most music. So, with most songs. Like, songs singing, music's the instrument, so. I don't know. I'm kind of in a situation here. Oops. So it's like, you could have cool music and lyrics that aren't even that good, I think. As long as it's not something ridiculous. And yeah, you could probably sell some albums with, because I could listen to just instruments, so I don't need people talking over the music. Especially with rap. It's like, sometimes I could, like, I don't really care for what people are singing when it comes to rap music. So that's why I don't listen to it. But when I did listen to it, it was mainly just for the actual music. Not for a message or anything. That's just me. I can only speak for myself. Uh-oh. Oh, that's the copy button. That's not what I was looking for. Here we go. Does that work? Uh-oh. That doesn't work. Sorry, I've been talking and working this whole time. Talking and talking and talking. It's like walking and chewing gum. What just happened? Is there a glitch here? Yep, that's definitely a glitch. ZZ. I must have dragged one of those by accident. I might work on this for another hour. I'm actually getting hungry. So I'll probably stop early. Stop streaming early. I'll probably just jump back to working on this. After I eat. Too many layers, man. Too many layers. So this arms crossed, I could probably use that a few times. Why'd the color go away? I'm actually not feeling that good. Am I having a sinus infection or something? Hope not. I don't want to be sick. Wrong glare. Well, that didn't work. Well, at least it will look different. I'll have differences. That'll make it look more interesting. Actually, it's barely noticeable. Okay, let's see if it's any better. I'll just copy this entire layer. And I'll replace that layer with this layer. I think that kind of worked. It worked enough. And this is a repeat frame, so go back to these. Alright, let's take a look at this. It's coming along good. I wish I could get this to work. since I'm trying to make a comic based on sword and sorcery stuff, I tried to watch. I bought all the Slayers episodes. I watched them in high school, and I haven't watched them since. But I bought the collection, and I bought the movies. Well, the one movie. I guess it was one movie. So I was like, okay, I'll watch this Slayers movie. It put me to sleep. I know it was really late, but put me to sleep. Sleeper hold. I don't know if it was Lisa Ortiz though. I met Lisa Ortiz. She's really pretty. I met her in Austin. What's that? San Antonio. I get Austin and San Antonio mixed up for some strange reason. The Capitol. I'll just say the Capitol. I met her at the Texas Capitol. At a convention. M.U.G.E.N. And she had a panel there. And I participated on the panel. It was a voice acting panel. She said, okay, who here can act? Raise your hand if you can act. And she walked up to you and she said, say something. And I was in the very, very back because I got in late. I almost missed the class. And I had my hand up and she came up to me and said, say something. And I said, tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time, and all our yesterdays have lighted fools their way to dusty death. And she was like, okay. Get up there. And had to voice a crocodile. Might have been SBO or no, that was I think it was the crocodile from Sonic the Hedgehog. Not sure. And they were talking about how they cast people according to age and tone. But yeah, she was really nice. She even talked to me. I had questions about agents. I always ask them about agents and getting a union, signing up with the union. Those are always my two questions. And wow, she was really nice. Really pretty. Really, really pretty. I think she does stage work. Anyway, enough talking about Lisa Ortiz. Let's work on this. It's pretty good. Don't have these. I guess I'll get the boots done. That shouldn't take too long. It's like one color, right? So that's the darkest color. So the tips of the shoes. No, the shade. Okay, I gotta add the shade. No sweat, no sweat, no sweat. I don't know how old Lisa Ortiz is. Must be pretty young, I guess. Either that or she just looks great. I remember I was at what am I saying? I was at Kamea-Con, and what's her name? Laura Bailey? Nah, that can't be Laura Bailey. Whoever voices Bulma might be Laura. I don't know. These names. All these names. You voice actors and your names. But yeah, she was there and she was like... She saw a tweet or something, was like... Some guy said, yeah, I'm gonna get to smash Bulma. Monica Rial, that's her name. And she was like, no, you're not. I'm old enough to be your mother. Why would you say that? I'm old enough to be your mother. And the first thing I thought was like, I don't know, I can't say it, but it was like, well, call me a MFer. Oh boy. I thought that was funny. My humor's strange. It's mostly Simpsons based. Simpsons, Looney Tunes cartoons, Animaniacs, Freakazoid, just a bunch of 90s stuff, and Living Color, Wayans Brothers stand up, you know, Damon Wayans. Spoofs. I like spoofs. Naked Gun. Actually, I didn't really care for Naked Gun. I like Hot Shots Part 2. Loaded Weapon number 1. I should probably check out all those. Oh wait, Robin Hood Men in Tights, Spaceballs. What else? I don't think there is anything else. Quick, witty responses. I like puns. I like wordplay. Stuff that makes you go, huh? And you go, oh, I understand. Nope, don't do that. I'm checking out this animation and it looks like there's a skip in the boot. Like the shading. There's too much back forth, back forth. wobbly stuff. So let's see if I can copy and paste anything. Yeah, that boots. Like, I don't think the shadow needs to move that much on this. Don't think it matters. I mean, the foot's not really even the focus. It's not really moving. Moving. Yeah, when everything's moving, it kind of takes attention away from what's supposed to be the focus. So having the feet just be solid makes you concentrate on the rest of the body that's moving. Not bad. That's just with the left foot. I'm staring at the left foot. Now the right. Yeah, it's all over the place. Jumpy, jumpy, jumpy. So that means I have to copy this foot, put it over there. No, not yet, not yet. Actually, this foot's the same. Oh, that's cold. Okay. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some allergy medicine. It's raining here and I guess it's getting to me. Hey! I must have dragged the stylist over two programs at once. Toon Boom Essentials. Actually, I've got Toon Boom Essentials, but I've got Toon Boom Studio, and I actually prefer that over Essentials. And I've got CeeLo for character modeling. I've never used it, but it looks like it'd be pretty easy to use. Probably keep topography clean. I guess I gotta stick to the 2D stuff for now. Alright, time to get to the most difficult part of this, which is going to be Neko Majin. Skin, hair, fur, whatever. His blue. Because it has more detail than everything else. Guess I'll take care of this shade and this highlight. I'll just start shading. The tricky thing is, like, his fingers. You lose his fingers, so I guess I'll have to detail the hands. Before I start shading. That was the chair. I promise. Oh man, that's not a color replacer. Let's try this again. I might order a pizza. But I have nacho stuff. I still have nacho stuff from yesterday, so it would behoove me to not eat the nachos. But I ate like 3 tortillas this morning. I ate 2 burritos and 2 burritos, and because I'm in Texas, it's like required. And I just ate a tortilla because I like tortillas. Flour tortilla. Man, this frame is so weird looking. So I'm gonna be at Retropalooza later this month. And I'll probably play in this Tekken and Street Fighter tournaments. No costume this year. No costume this year. It's just not worth it. Especially at Retropalooza. I mean, nobody cares about the cosplay. They have a contest, but you know that encourages it. But no one cares. Okay, now that I've gotten most of the sprites separated color-wise, I can start shading. First, let me do this. It's been almost 2 hours. Should I stop at 2? 2 hours? I mean, it's 1:50. I'm at 1 hour and 58 minutes. That's a lot of work. And I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Yeah, I think I will stop. So, thanks folks for like being here for me and watching me work on this little fur ball here. I'll keep on fighting to keep the character going and fighting the good fight and all that stuff. We got through quite a bit of it. By the time you see this next, it should be done. We highlighted it. We highlighted all the pants. We got the belt done. Basically most of the boots, pants, shirt, and last thing I gotta do is get his skin done, or his fur, his body. I gotta get the character's body done. So anyway, I better take this home. Alright, thanks for being here. Be seeing ya. Stay out of trouble.